This is the Living Sexy Radio Network, broadcasting live from the United States of America.
Get up!
This is Connections.
Soft opening.
Connections.
Soft opening.
Connections.
Soft opening. Soft opening. This is all. This is all. This is all.
Sit back and enjoy the ride, boys.
Everybody! You know what time it is, right? It's time for that show again. Yeah.
What time is it? What time is
There's
it?
Lizzie. Let's hear Dr. Oh, wow, you're not there.
I'm not there. Nope.
There you are.
Am I there now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, you're low. All right.
I can't hear myself talk.
You can?
No, of course can't. No. I don't hear myself in a very, very light.
Oh.
Really?
Very,
That
very
didn't
light.
sound good.
That's
Yeah,
bad.
Snap, crackle, pop there.
That didn't
What'd
sound
you do to
very
me?
good. I broke it.
Uh-huh.
It's broke. Oh.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to snap.
That's all right. Hey, there's some Sonys here. I'll put the white ones on.
Those are probably
Ooh.
worse.
Here we go. We got White
Uh-oh.
Lives Matter here.
He's all White Lives Matter. Did you say that?
No, he said
my-
white headphones
No,
matter.
white headphones lives matter. Got you. All right, let's see.
There we go.
Better? Okay,
I
well,
can
let's
hear
hear you. Can you hear you?
I can hear me.
Okay.
Can you hear me? I'm a little still low, but yeah.
Oh, wow. We heard that.
Emma can hear me.
Emma just now realized we're in
There
the
we go.
studio.
1, 2, 3.
How'd she get back over here? Those rescue dogs.
Yeah.
Hi, you know what?
I got shenanigans.
I know someone's gonna say something and be like, Melissa, I know you're not allowed to wear the hat backwards because Dr. Ken is here.
Yeah.
Hi, Tommy. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, everybody. Tommy's watching Pantless.
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Ken said that I can wear the hat backwards because it looks
The
horrible.
rules are different for women. You know, if you're a guy and you're over the age of 15 and you're not a catcher on a team, you look
Yeah,
like
he's
an idiot.
cracking.
Yeah.
He's cracking.
Could be.
Crack, 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 crack.
Crack, 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 crack. How's that? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's better. Look at
Much
that.
better. See,
Look
at
at
that.
you guys. You guys are
We're
professional.
good.
Bro.
Yeah. All we need is some duct tape and we're
There
good.
we
There we go.
go.
Hey.
Oh, my gosh.
Look at
Oh,
that.
my gosh.
Wow, we're
Ooh.
technical here. All right, so yeah, it's been a while since you guys have been watching. What's going on? We're going to talk tonight about why liar, pants on fire is pretty much what it is.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Okay, and that would be like, say, 2016 when all of my friends were like, "Oh, we think Hillary, woman, Hillary," and I was like,
Yeah, no.
And people would ask, and for the sake of argument,
No.
I would tell them who I voted for. But if I wanted to avoid an argument, I wouldn't say anything.
Just be like, it's none of your dadgum business.
Right, because you don't really have to tell them you shouldn't. I mean,
Well.
it's one of those things that, you get to keep to yourself.
It is your prerogative.
Mm-hmm.
But with that in mind, we're going to talk about why people lie tonight.
Oh, yes.
You really should just turn the camera around so I don't see myself.
What the heck are you doing to your hair over there, Lizzie?
I'm pulling off the 80s little...
You got it.
You like that? The ponytail?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should put roller skates on.
You
I
really?
only see the one side from this way. Oh, okay, it's only one. You don't have two up there?
No.
Not
I
yet.
thought you were doing that Cindy Lou
Not
Who
yet.
thing.
We
you
got
know.
an hour.
No, she's pulling off this, almost pulling off the side pony.
Yes.
Remember the side pony
Oh,
from?
yeah.
Hey, we're
from
on Eagle.
Napoleon?
80s and 90s, greatest hits.
That's true. There we go. All right,
Yeah.
so, hey, Kathy, how you doing? Everything sounds good. All right, make sure you share if you care. Share the actual link to the video instead of this watch party crap. It's a lot easier. We'll be back in 2 seconds here. Well, make it 2 minutes, but we'll talk to just Facebook for a moment.
Hello and welcome back to the...
I'm Deutsch. All right, so, oh, beautiful Lizzie. Someone loves the Lizzie.
Aw, thanks. That's Rebecca.
That is
That's my
Rebecca.
sister.
That's right. So,
I love her so much.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the actual video, and it's not explicit. All right, and then we're going to go, well, and are we having issues already of stalling? We're not stalling out.
Not
are
yet.
No.
Not yet.
No.
The storm isn't here yet. There's one coming, but...
I'm saying, all right. There's one coming? There's always one coming. Why?
Because it's a summer in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Well, I thought it was funny because one of our Eagle guys was moving here to Tampa, and so he's like private messaging me going, Lizzie, what do I need to buy?
Everything.
Yeah, he's like, what do I need? I go, well, first you need to buy a wet dry vac. That needs to be your first
Yeah.
step. Well, do I need to do dehumidifier? I would wait. Our family's been in Florida since the 60s, and we've never owned a dehumidifier no matter where we live. So
Share that link if you're watching us right now.
please do.
All right, let's see. Facebook taking a second to go through to Facebook. All right, there we go. This is what I'm talking about.
What you talking about?
Lewis,
What you talking about, Willis?
Willis, I'm talking about the fact that whenever I go live over here and I pay for a good amount of what and whatnot, it seems like Spectrum's like, oh, they're getting ready to do a show. Let's fuck them up the ass. Oh,
And they don't give us a kiss either.
not even sloppy reach
No.
arounds,
Wow.
nothing. Yeah.
That's not fair.
Okay, well, my download speed's like on the 400. That's great.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You know, I was at work and I checked at iHeart to see what the upload speed was. It was
Uh-oh.
like 500 megabytes per second. Yeah. I know. I was like,
Must be nice.
their
Lying.
upload speed is faster than their download speed.
Like they're up speed so fast that they're actually uploading what you're going to think
Yeah,
that
it's
you're going to
before you
say,
said
and
it,
then
Mhm,
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
No, a friend of mine did all their upgrades with the wire and the cables and the switchers and stuff. He said they have so much money that they just threw because they're using systems that their computers can't handle.
Live from the Connections Studio Suites, it's Connections. Connections is relationship radio.
welcome to another fun-filled hour of Connections, relationship radio with a twist. I am Melissa Fox. That's 2 X's and Fox, by the way, 1 L, 2 S's. I don't know how they put it. It's because I say Melissa, isn't it? And they were like,
I think
Melissa
so,
Bella,
yeah.
Yeah.
And Lizzie, give her all the vowels that she wants.
Yeah, Y is a crap out. It really
it
is.
really-
It's laziness. People don't want to type that extra
Tell
letter.
'em.
And is Y a consonant or a vowel? It's like so confused it doesn't know. And I'm not in confusion.
No. So, hashtag Lizzie said what? You'll find some really funny things. You've been going crazy with your daughter's boyfriend who doesn't know music.
Who has not heard of Two Live Crew? Who didn't raise
Child
their kids
abuse.
on Two Live Crew? I mean, literally.
Couldn't tell you one of their songs, but I've heard of them.
It's okay. That's Dr. Ken Vehec. He's our resident psychologist, traumatic brain injury recovery kind of guy. And what else is it? Oh, yeah, and he's a fun guy to hang out with as well.
Yeah, not bad. You know.
So tonight we have decided
Uh-huh.
to discuss why people lie.
Wait,
Not-
did you just say white
She
people?
said white people
Yeah, I
lie.
did.
She just said
White
white people
people
lie.
Damn it, white
See,
people,
they're
quit
slurring
lying.
your word. You should just not drink before the show.
I
keep
didn't.
telling you
Maybe I
that.
should drink before the show. Why people lie in specific exit polls. When I leave a voting booth or the church usually, it's where I vote.
Yeah.
And people ask, "Who did you vote for?" Is it my obligation to tell you the truth?
No.
And so many people don't.
Mm-hmm.
But why is that? Why is that, Dr. Ken?
Well, there's a number of reasons why we lie, and most of the times we lie just to make ourselves look better in somebody else's eyes.
Oh, okay.
And so it's a deflection because you have this concern that if you told them the truth, they'd think lesser of you, and we as humans don't like that.
Oh, no.
So you tell them what you think they want to hear.
What? Wait, I don't ever tell anybody what I think they want to hear because that's bad.
Have you ever done a poll?
Have I ever? What do you mean?
No, not a poll as in dancing.
Yeah, no,
I've
not-
done
not
those.
one
That's
of
how I
those.
got my first kid.
Okay. Alrighty. That's another show, though.
Have you ever walked into say, the place I always seem to get polled or attempted is right in front of the DMV.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about people that are asking you questions,
Yes.
surveying you.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No one's ever you were like, mm-mm.
yeah.
That's
I just keep
why.
walking because it's not any of their business.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And that's why. But there are people
But I
out
don't
there
lie
who,
about it.
for whatever reasons, want to either pad the numbers one way or the other, or to make themselves feel good about the way that person is going to respond to them when they give them the answer.
Well, here's my thing. This is another reason why I don't tell anybody, especially when we're in situations like we were in 2016 and we're coming into this year, is the fact that I love to look at people's faces whenever somebody like Trump wins and people are just throwing papers and on TV and they're like, our statistics is wrong. Well, guess what? Either people lied to you or I didn't tell you the truth. So.
And also, if you look at the way surveys are done and the way they put the statistical models together, they'll go out and they'll interview 1,000 people. well, that's really not representative of 350 million.
Oh no, plus or
You
minus
know.
50,000.
Yeah,
Could be right.
Could be.
wrong.
But you see, and that's where they go to different areas where they know they're going to get a certain type of voter. And if you look at the way the questions are worded, that has everything to do with the way the response
Wait
is
a minute,
coming.
who's paying for this?
That's it.
Oh,
Follow the money.
always.
And you will find out why and they're asking the questions and what the answers that they're looking for are. Yeah.
Did anybody else get a postcard from their local voting district saying voting by mail is safe? Because I got one for Lake County, and I almost wanted to go back in and go, hello, you just used my tax money to send all of these out. Why?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I did. I got 2 in 2 different names.
So that's safe.
Uh-huh.
So whoever
Safe.
the other name was.
Yeah, and not only that, but I got it 2 different times from
Sure.
both parties.
So you know those roles have
So
been
it's-
cleansed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So good to see what's going on there.
Yeah, so and a lot of people look at it this way to bring that into perfect view. Well, they're lying to me. They're trying to force me into one thing. Well, let me see if I give them some bad information, what they're going to do with that. I'm going to get back at you.
You know?
for
See,
all
I
this.
had a friend once who told me and gave a suggestion, which I would never do because to me that's false. But she does, she registers as a Democrat until she votes for somebody that she doesn't like to get that number. And then just before it's a deadline to switch over to vote in November, she switches back over to Republican. But she does this every year or every 4 years. And I'm like, isn't that fraud? Or
No, you can change your mind.
It's your prerogative to
you
change
can
your mind.
change your
You can
mind.
change
And the
your
thing
mind,
is,
sure.
because of how Florida is set up, you don't have a choice if you register independent. Everyone makes a
Yeah,
choice
yeah,
and
yeah.
narrows it down for you. Now, I'm not saying I'm a fan or not a fan of that. I think if you want to be independent, that's fine, but we will narrow it down for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Because your vagueness isn't going to be my problem.
Right.
Oh,
and,
wow,
And a
yeah.
lot of times the people that are independents, if in certain states where the independents are allowed to vote in the open elections and the primaries, that they can go and really possibly move the needle for one candidate or the other, or against one candidate or the other.
Splits the ticket and makes a big
They can
mess.
do all. They can be real messy with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, whether you're for independents voting and everything or not, well, just look at what the potentials are.
See, I would do independence, but I don't have a vote until the final
Until
the,
national
the
or the
final run.
actual
So I'm
election,
like,
yeah.
why would I register as that? I can't. Y'all don't care what I have to say till
Right.
then.
Well, and that's the thing.
Okay, but if otherwise, if you register as a Democrat or as a Republican, then they expect you to be lockstep in those parties.
Right, to just tick blue the
You
whole
know,
way
and
down.
that's-
or
that's
tick
and you're
red.
true.
already counted. Your vote is already counted for that.
And I just don't. I don't understand why everything just can't be independent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate the fact that what's the first one that's coming up next week? Is that the
It's our primary.
That's a
primary? I always get those two mixed up.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why you have to vote within your group of
your
people.
party. Yeah, because you're picking your
But that's-
representative
I
for
think
your
you should
party.
be able to vote for whatever.
Yeah, but see, that's where you go back to. You could get, say, you have two candidates within that party,
Right.
and you don't want one of them to win. And you, as an independent, you go in and vote for the other one, even though you may not want them either, but you don't want the other one. So you can skew the election that way.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of tricks and stuff that are being done. I highly recommend people watching Man of the Year.
Man of the
Man.
year.
Man of the Year.
That
It's a
doesn't-
Robin Williams movie where
okay.
he gets elected, as the president of the United States because of they did computer voting.
Big fiasco. That's the
Yeah.
word I'm looking for.
Yeah, fiasco. There, it began with an F. You're close.
I was close.
So, and it's like a combination of Minority Report, and this technology. So it's
Man
pretty cool.
of the
Man
Year.
of the Year.
And then when you're done with that, watch Moon over Parador.
Oh God, I love that movie.
No, anyone? Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like the ruler of Parador, and so they hop him in there as an actor. He's filling in while the guy's totally dead.
Yeah.
And it's just a farce. It's fun though, and it could easily happen. It was just like Dave. You remember that?
Yep.
Once we had
Dave
our
was a good
version
one.
of it.
Yep.
I just can't wait for Wag the Dog 2 for this year to get done with. So
Oh, yeah.
You ain't kidding.
So
Do you not feel
do your
that's
research on some of these things, and you'll see that this isn't a new concept. That there'll be voter fraud, or that they're trying to control the masses through all the advertising and all the this is what our platform is, and this is what theirs is, and it's only 2 or 3 words off.
Right, the difference is so new.
Yeah,
There isn't much, but the thing is, we're still lying.
yes,
We lie.
yeah.
You know, I avoided confrontation, which is unusual for me. And then sometimes I just go right for it. I'll wear, like it's 3.5 years now since Donald Trump got voted into office. Now, he may not have won the popular vote, but So you've got 2 things. You got your electoral college, you've got the popular vote. The popular vote is based just on a popularity contest, and it doesn't necessarily mean that those electoral votes are going to reflect what's going on. It's ironic, isn't it?
Must be
It is
ironic.
ironic.
Don't you
That's
think?
why I was laughing. I was like, wait a minute, is that ironic?
Yeah.
Why, yes, it is.
Good job.
Which also means we need to take a break.
Yeah.
Connections is brought to you by Stages of Life Medical Institute in Longwood, Florida. Just a piano's throw off of I-4 at Longwood. All right. We'll be right back. More about why people lie coming up.
This is Connections.
That totally caught me by the shorts.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
Roll right along. That was pretty
Yeah.
I was like, it was funny because I didn't know if you had the music turned down. So I was like, wait, is that music that I'm hearing?
It
Or-
rolled up real quiet, didn't it? All right, so let's see. Tommy says he lies about being a virgin. Okay. Becky says in Missouri we have to vote for the party in the primary and whoever we want to vote in the main election.
That's the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah, see, they did that in Massachusetts too. That they did the whole thing across. You can vote whoever you want, and then you can still vote whoever you want, whatever party, all the way in. So I could go in, and if I liked a judge or somebody that was a Democrat, even as a registered Republican, I can still vote for that person.
Would it not make things better if we just got rid of all of the parties?
No.
No?
No. It's always a two-party system. Well,
Yeah, you actually need a 3 or 4.
it's
that would
yeah. I
be
was gonna
good,
say,
but-
but they can't. They can't seem to have. They're all the same ideas, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
it doesn't
gotcha.
really.
And the partisanship has gotten so much worse.
Hey, ta-da, how you doing? I haven't heard from you in a while. You still hiding out? Aloha from Hawaii. What's up, mahalo? Yeah, he's changed his name a million times. We haven't had him. He hasn't been on the feed in forever. He was being stalked for. I mean, this is an old story, like Pete stuff. Let's see. Sammy says hello,
Aw,
especially to
Sammy.
Dr. Ken. Tommy was our first one, and Catherine, what are you doing down there? How's the COVID going on the island? I should say up there.
Where's
Up
you at?
there.
Up there.
You're in Florida.
Yes.
Everything's down.
Nantucket. What's that?
I said you're in Florida.
Nantucket.
Everything's down. Like
I know.
it's like-
I know. Jesus, I don't even know.
It was like Brooke said something about somebody coming up from South Florida, and she was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Whenever they come down, I'm like, they're coming from Palm Beach."
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there another storm out there? Another tropical
Yeah, it's
storm?
supposed to
Yeah.
be. Yeah, it's supposed to hit this weekend.
It
But...
doesn't have a name yet. It's still a
Are you
number.
sure? I thought it had a
Yeah,
name.
it did. Joseph or
Jo-
They did?
Josephine?
Yeah, something like that.
What was on my
Last
phone?
time I heard about it,
J.
it didn't have a number.
The only party should be a karaoke party. Very nice. Moons over Miami. You guys are very clever today. This is a lot. This is really good.
That's a good food. Isn't that some at Denny's? Moons
Danny's,
over my hand.
Ginger. Yeah. It is. That is pretty good stuff there. A lot of cholesterol, but you know.
I don't eat Denny's.
Yeah, the last time I went there was after a bachelor party.
Oh, well,
and
that's.
when the waitress put the plate onto the table, the eggs slid off the plate because there was so much grease on
Oh,
the plate.
Yeah.
Well, they use that
like-
fake grease to prep the grill, first of all.
Yeah.
That looks like butter, but you could also use it
But
for
it's
oil in
not.
your car. You know, it's,
Yeah.
it's just like, ooh, not good. So, what's everyone doing? Are you guys going to go out now? Early voting? Is there? I have early voting. I haven't.
I like
was-
to wait.
no,
I'm like
I-
one of those. I like to wait till
Are you?
last
I
minute.
go right to the poll. That way I know it's counted.
Yeah, I go day off. I vote. I drop my vote. Wear my sticker proudly. Put a picture on whatever social media. You know,
Yeah.
I do my part.
If I see anybody's going to vote for Biden, I'm going to do a lot of coughing in the process of going into the building.
Well, and that's the thing. These people. There's a lot of them,
Scare 'em off.
myself included, that do not want to wear the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sick, so why would I protect myself from you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also can't breathe in a mask
Yeah.
very well at all. It really is problematic. But if they require one of the voting booths, you know damn well I'll wear one. I'll be the first one in line wearing my little mask.
I was actually happy when I posted that the other day about sexual experience and why there's problems at times that I have problems. Not all the time, but every once in a while I have my days where my emotions aren't right and I can't wear a mask. And when I posted that. No, I didn't have one of those son of a bitches even comment. I'm just like, I'm like, whoa, there is a Jesus out there, because I expected people to tear me apart about the mask.
Yeah, y'all
So
just
I
blew
guess
that
the
off.
gag ball would be out of the question at that point.
It depends on how I'm feeling that day.
Right. And if she's lubed up or not.
See, that's strange.
Huh? Oh, no, actually, a lot of guys have 3.
What did I teach you about loyalty?
Milk the cow till it's dry and make hamburger and wallets.
I'm gonna get a pen to write that down. Don't say anything while I'm gone.
Welcome back. Oh my goodness, Connections. We do this for you at least once a week, and you can always find our podcast on iHeartRadio's podcast app or anywhere that you get your favorite podcast. Yes. What happened?
On, didn't I?
You put the wrong
What's wrong?
headphones. He put the wrong headphones on. Oh, you don't like
I
the
was
black
doubled
ones?
up protected
That's
there.
I see that.
He had one around his neck and one in his hand.
That's
Good
kind of
job.
crazy.
That's
Dr. Ken
I'd
Vehec.
rather wear that in a mask, though.
Yeah, we
you
go
know?
with him with the psychology stuff, but he can't figure out what headphones he's.
Yeah, it's all right.
Hey, he just rolls into a test place whenever they go, hey, you need to do a test to show your IQ, and he goes, okay, swerves in, takes a test. 15 minutes later, he calls the university or board or whoever's trying to hire him, and he goes, yeah, I just took the test, and they go, you just took it?
Done.
Yep.
Handle it.
Yep.
He's so smart.
Done.
He's a smart guy. Anyway, that's Dr. Ken. Hashtag Lizzie said what? Check her out on the internet. You'll find some very interesting. Hey, did you see the Thanksgiving flavored candy corn?
Yeah, I'm talking about this weekend.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
For
they
show.
Avoid
I'm
the
actually
green
gonna go
ones
buy
because
it.
they're the green bean flavored.
I'm going to go
well,
buy
okay,
it. Even though
yeah.
I don't like candy corn, I'm going to go buy it just because.
Just to try.
Well, we did last year with the Pringles that made. There was like turkey flavored, and they had the whole meal. And
Yep.
if you could find all of them,
You could have a whole dinner.
I never found the cranberry flavored ones. I was like, hey, it ain't turkey dinner without cranberry
flavored
sauce.
Pringles.
They had turkey flavored, which actually tasted like the turkey seasonings, the bay and all
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
And potato chip flavored potatoes with gravy.
Liar. Liar.
No.
Pants on fire.
No, it's a
Okay.
true story.
I love Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Speaking of liar, liar, pants on fire.
Yeah.
Oh, so tonight we're talking about voting and why people lie about who they vote for, and there's a lot of reasons for that, Dr.
Yeah.
Ken.
And also now that people have found out that the people doing the surveys are getting paid to do those surveys.
Wait, someone's getting paid for this, and I've been turning these people down the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a true story.
Now I'm kind of pissed.
Yeah.
I'm mad. Where
You
are these
could be
people
making
at?
money getting your slant done. Again, follow the money on this, first of all.
Yep.
They are
First
getting
and
paid,
foremost.
and not only that, they get paid, but they have to fill a quota.
Yes.
Okay, so when they're... What's going on? Oh, I missed the little one. Shh.
Sorry.
Little Emma's on the floor.
Yes.
She's
Our
not,
rescue babies
yes,
for
she's
babies in the studio.
Not doing really good with meeting new people yet, but...
So follow the money. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. So,
Well-
like, people are paying
The-
people for their opinion, but are they
No,
lying about it
not
at
paying,
the end?
No, not paying the people giving
No.
the opinion, but the people that are taking the surveys are getting paid.
Hmm.
And see, this then, they have a quota they have to get. They have the questions that they need answered. So they're looking for people that will fit their narrative and give them the positive feedback for the people who are actually paying for that survey.
Which is why I forced an African-American woman to take my answers one day when she was clearly looking only for other people of color. And I was like, why ain't you asking me? And she said, oh, okay. And
She's like, you can't even say your name right.
Yeah.
You call yourself Melissa.
Melissa.
I'm Melissa. But seriously, and then I forced her to give me the questions, and they were all about the Amendment 4, letting the felons who've done their time get back. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was like, And then there was one about the minimum wage, wanting to go $15, and I'm thinking the whole time, and I talked to this gal, and I found out everything. She's getting paid. She's got a quota, and she basically said they tell her who to look for. I did not fit the bill.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of these surveys, I don't pay attention to these polls. I
Oh,
really
they're
don't.
meaningless. And numbers are numbers. They can be skewed to fit your narrative.
But a lot of the media does, and that makes it hysterical in the end.
When I was in college, I had a statistics professor who I was having a tough time getting statistics. I just couldn't get my head wrapped around it. And he finally looked at me and he goes, Ken, all statistics is for you is lying with numbers.
Oh, wow.
And after that, it was like, boom, light bulb went on. I can make this say whatever I want.
So quickly, I want to divert from voting to COVID numbers.
Oh, okay.
Now, these numbers are meant to be skewed.
Yes.
First of all, the hospitals need to have a certain amount of people that have gone through or died of COVID. Why? Because they get money for testing and other things. They get compensated. All right. So why would those numbers not necessarily the ones we see splattered all over the TV, this and that? Why would they not necessarily be correct? Dr. Khan, why?
Well, because there's a monetary incentive. And it's not a small monetary incentive. You can get up to $35,000 per diagnosis.
And think of it. I test positive. I have not. I'm just saying example.
Yes.
I test positive. I have to continue to be tested
Yes.
till I test negative. But every one of those tests is a new case.
Yes.
Yes, it's a brand new case. And also, even though you're testing positive, if your antibodies are testing positive, they're not testing for the antibodies, you're going to continue to test positive as a new COVID case.
All right. So what is our death rate? What's the percentage of our death rate?
0.008.
Right.
Yeah, it's really,
Okay.
I mean, it's not even a pandemic,
Right.
people.
So let's go back to the numbers. Okay. So we'll just say we have 150,000 people who have died from this. Okay. And out of that, we've got here in Florida, whatever our number is. It's that. But you take a look at that, and they say all these cases, and we got however many cases there are. But they never tell you that because we have 0.008, right? That they're not here with us anymore. They've passed on. Okay. They don't tell you that 99.2
of those cases
got better.
recovered. Well, and here's the thing. You can go to the national and world COVID chart, okay? And it will tell you how many people or cases, how many recovered, okay? But you look for United States, maybe. But you look for Florida, there's not one number for recovery.
No, they fired her before she could put it on.
Right. Well, then she went and did her own site, and they keep just trashing.
They keep trashing it.
But if you look at numbers, okay, what's really important? Hospitalizations and deaths.
Yeah.
Neither of which have, and what are we on now? Day 151 of a 15 days of flatten the curve.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that working out?
Well,
people?
hey, flatten the curve. Oh, wait, no. We need a vaccine now.
Well,
what?
That's happening in downtown Orlando, where the mayor has said that until there's a vaccine, he doesn't want the bars to reopen. And that doesn't make sense to me because how am I supposed to know as a patron? Okay. Oh, there's a vaccine now, so I'm assuming every patron has now had it.
Exactly, and you're getting 45% of the people in the country that said they'll take it.
If that, and they're probably
50,
lying.
Yeah, they're probably lying.
But I want to know
because
how
it was a survey,
and I want to know how they're able to pass through this so-called vaccine that they have now that they're trying.
You mean the Russian fake thing? That's just Pez.
But doesn't it take like 8 years or something for the CDC or FDA or whoever it is that approves before they're allowed to actually start giving people stuff?
But this has been fast tracked.
It's faster, but there's also
what about
another
cancer?
Thing, is that you've got 116 different companies, I think, at this time, all trying to make money. I mean, make the vaccine.
Because whichever one does it, buy their stock.
Boom. I mean, you've got companies that usually make like iced tea that are like, we're in this.
Yeah, we're in this. Yep. And it's a great thing to see. When President Trump started using the War Powers Act, to get the companies to switch over to making ventilators and getting the PPE stuff that we needed and all
they
that.
Fought him tooth and nail, but it was good that he did that.
Well, and it was one of these things where when they realized he was going to do that, the companies went, we're going to do this voluntarily because it's a great PR move, And now, because they've been asked to help, which has never happened before, you've got people that are trying to come up with stuff in their own home labs, I'm talking little,
No,
like little
Are you
labs.
serious?
Compounding
Compounding
pharmacies.
labs. There's a bunch of them.
You don't have to be a big monolith, drug producer.
No, I mean they got a guy out in DeLand or DeBerry that's testing right now. So,
Yeah.
I heard
that's doing
that.
trials. Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
You know, put your hand in the air and see what happens.
Yeah.
I got some dirt for you to
Speaking of Mr. Tambourine Man, we'll be right back. It is Connections, relationship radio with a twist. We've got Dr. Ken Vehec with us tonight to explain why people lie.
Oh yeah.
This is the Connections Radio Network.
Why won't you take a vaccine? Oh, you mean for several years? I never took the flu vaccine until probably after I got walking pneumonia and couldn't chase it away for almost, I think it was a year and a half. It kept recurring. It was just, but then again, it was going to a clinic.
Well, my primary and I were doing a study on me with that because he said, "Why don't you take the flu shot?" I'm like, "Because I get the flu."
And some people do.
I
He said-
actually
and I
got
don't get it
sick.
right after the shot.
No, but you
But
will
I'll
get
the
flu.
Mm-hmm.
But you won't get it as bad.
No, I get the flu.
You get it just as bad.
I get
See,
the
and
flu.
you're one of those
See,
people.
I got
Yeah.
mine, and there's no exaggeration. I got mine 4 hours after I got my shot. I calculated it out, and that wasn't possible.
You had it before. Yeah, it's not
Okay.
possible.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not possible.
But now me, I get the shot, and I rarely, if I do get the flu, it's very mild.
Yeah.
But I had not started that until, I want to say 6 or 7 years ago. And the only reason I did is because I felt like my system just needed that extra boost. And, whatever it takes. Polio vaccine, we lost a few kids in my neighborhood, some of the older children. But everyone lined up and took their medicine. Oh,
On that
literally.
little sugar cube.
Yeah. Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah.
But Rebecca says she's not going to take any vaccine for several years. Meanwhile, Putin supposedly gave some sort of magic miracle vaccine administered to his daughter over in Russia.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that that popped yesterday, and in my mind, I just don't. I don't. It's
I
probably
Mm.
take-
just a Z-pack or something.
Yeah. Well, I take the flu shot now because I became a member of the board of directors for the Shriners Hospitals. And I can't go into the hospitals with the kids unless I've been vaccinated. So, but the thing is, for the last 15 years, because I have no sinuses, nothing to filter anything that goes through there.
Right.
I get the flu whether I get the flu shot or not. So it's just
So
this
it's
is
just
this is to
formality.
satisfy an admin requirement, so I can go, volunteer at the hospital.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, it needs to
Give
be,
me the shot.
if you have to do
just
it.
don't be surprised when I say got the flu.
Because I'm sorry, but you had the shot,
But the thing is, the flu has like this year I think it was 36 or 37 strains, and they only picked the top 4 to
You know,
mix
I think from
to
the
mix
ones-
into the vaccine.
Yeah, it was a very bad idea this
Yeah.
year. It's maybe
Yeah.
60%, if that, effective.
if that. I mean, it was really bad. They missed it. They missed the call on that one.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I'm just doing math, blah, blah, blah. And not very well.
Yeah.
I can count backwards from 60, but a lot of people can't do that. Yeah, it's a true story. So let's talk when we come back about why the Sirius exit polls, but what happened at my job, and you can explain some of your friends too,
Yes, okay.
and why they lie. It's true, they do.
You do.
I do fly shots and flu shots. I think you mean flu, and have a pneumonia booster.
Fly shots, yeah.
Woo,
Sounds like a
shots on the
party.
fly. Hello, pour up, baby.
Conducting a test for the emergency broadcasting. Remember, this is only a test.
This is an amazing set of highballs.
It's Connections.
Wow, welcome back.
Seriously, welcome back. Melissa Fox, along with hashtag Lizzie Said What. You can catch her weekends on the Eagle Online Radio. She's awesome, and she's always got a lot of fun stuff going on. Dr. Ken Vehec is with us, our psychologist. You can catch him at a methadone clinic near you. Talk about, yeah. All right, so we're talking about why people lie.
Yeah.
All right. And in particular, why people lie about their politics. Now, Lizzie, you know people who vote one way, but it would be very bad.
I have 5 friends, 3 who are black, and the other 2 are of another race. And we've had this discussion before, especially after around 2016, that they say that they voted for Hillary because of the fact that either their family, spouse, or friends, their circle of friends, will exile them or just it's ugly, and so they just don't want to deal with it, and they don't want to have to deal with answering why. So they're like, yeah, I voted for Hillary. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad. And I'm just like, well, I mean, some people have to do what they have to do to survive with their circle of friends or community, I guess. If you don't like that I voted for Trump, then, kick rocks, because I did my research, and my research may be different than yours, but I actually took the time to research Trump and what he could and what he would do. And so.
And you're not mad about the whole grab her by the pee thing?
Has nothing to do with it.
What about the sexual accusations? What about the fact that he's been banned?
I'm a guy's girl.
Yeah. You and I have said worse just hanging out over a coffee.
And that's my thing, is that I've heard other radio shows whenever it came down to him saying that, and this one radio station just was like, oh, we would never say that. And I was laughing, and I stopped listening to their radio show because I remember them back in the 90s.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. But everybody's, Puritan nowadays. So, But you're right. And a lot of that has happened. Why does that happen, though? Why do we feel that we have to lie within our own family or discuss politics?
Well, a lot of times, especially within you have family units, right, where you have to be with these people because you don't get to pick your family. You get to pick your friends, right, and you have to be with them for social functions, birthdays, holidays, all these things. And if it gets too, rough at the dinner table, it ruins the holiday for people who are there just to celebrate the holiday.
Right. I can't get drunk with all your attitude.
But how do you contain that, though? Because I couldn't imagine, having everybody against me because I voted for this person, and then having to sit there at the dinner table or the festive table and then have them being like, oh my gosh, I voted for blah, 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 and they lost, and I can't believe so-and-so won, and constantly talking about it. And I'm sitting here going, how am I related to you?
Yeah.
I couldn't keep my mouth shut.
But the nice thing, and the way I approach this with my family, because I grew up in Western Pennsylvania, and it's staunch Democrat, and
that's a blue state.
And I had an uncle that was a congressman for 28 years, and my other uncle was also my godfather, was a state senator for 2 terms. And so to go against that grain, I wasn't able to do it until I joined the Navy.
Wow.
And my first election that I actually got to vote in was when I voted for Reagan to get rid of Carter.
Yeah.
Oh, what a...
So but to have conversations with him, you want to keep peace in there. But, we do that because, like, say, my mom, she doesn't need to hear this. Mm-hmm. We're at her house, we're having the party, having the holiday or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Why do you want to upset her and ruin all the preparation and all the time she spent trying to make a good day for the family?
Yeah, I mean, it's just not fair. But there's always going to be that one uncle instigator who has to, even though and the rules can be laid out, and you say no politics, it's always going to be like, how about that orange man?
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yes, no, I have an older cousin who just waited until we had our family get together last year before my mom died, and we had family in from the West Coast, and majority of my family from the West Coast are, they're Republicans, but let's just say my cousin just totally went off, and I was so proud of the one person who I know was totally blue that. There's no way she could ever see red. And so I was so proud of her for not saying anything while he was just tearing the blue side apart. So
yeah.
And again, that's a key word right there, side.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that division, I think, has gotten worse, but it started, I want to say, in Obama.
Yeah.
We started to
see
he
really made it a lot worse.
A lot of division where you had to pick a side.
And yeah, the sad part is he had the best opportunity to be a uniter. And he chose to go the other way.
Mr. Community Organizer he chose to show the division to create more of a wedge.
And did a lot more to create the. I mean, remember Ferguson?
Yeah, I remember a lot of stuff.
I'm sorry. But getting back to why we lie, sometimes it's just to keep the peace because, we're older, we're more mature. We're, like in my case, my youngest sister, she lived in France. And she is socialist from,
And it works for her, and it's a different setup.
But there's no talking to her.
Oh.
you know, and she'll come off and she'll say these things and there's no depth to what she has. When she runs out of sound bites, she can't think on her own.
Well, and that is it. It's a soundbite thing, and it's also just rhetorics or platitudes or bumper stickers, but there's no substance. It's either that or it's deflection. And so when you deal with people like that, I don't deal with it, basically. I just, shutting this down.
Yeah.
Because I don't want the negativity. And I'm constantly now being made to not only choose a side, but stick to that side, but then promote that side because I have to.
And I also hate that people just stereotype that either how you live, the color of your skin, or your orientation is why you should have to vote for the one side or the other.
When I was at UCF, I was teaching I taught the large classes, 430 students in a class. Gosh. Leading up to the 16 election, I didn't talk about what candidate I was supporting. I didn't do any of that, but all I was trying to do.
As a professor, you're not supposed to,
right?
Should you?
But I was pushing my students to go register to vote.
Okay, good.
And I said, I don't care who you vote for, but I want you to be involved in the process. Because, in my mind, if you don't vote, you can't bitch.
You cannot bitch. And that,
True.
People are like, oh, no, it's my right not to vote. Well, maybe so.
Maybe so, but
Then
you
you have an
abdicated the
opinion.
responsibility to somebody else.
Yeah, you handed it over. You didn't take your own responsibility, and now you can't complain.
Yeah. I came walking in to the class the day after the election. And you could see the mood in the classroom. The kids were all, and I come walking and I'm whistling, pulling my little book bag behind me.
Your guy won.
Yeah. and they went, "You voted for Trump." I'm like, "I voted." And I went over and I didn't.
Yeah, the university's here because Brooke was at the university then, and she just was like, she was happy as daisies. And then they had special meetings and cafeteria for counseling afterwards. And she called me. She was like,
spaces
with pizza. I'm like, Brooke,
crayons. They had chalk for the sidewalks.
I talked her into going in and getting some of that pity pizza and bring it
pity
home to me.
pizza.
And bring it home to me. I go, act like you're sad because I'm hungry.
So what I did,
Girl gotta eat.
because they were riding, they're trying to insult me for voting, and I said, okay, well, let's take a quick poll. How many people here voted?
And how many of them did?
Maybe a third of the room.
Exactly.
I said, so if you're looking at whose fault that your guy didn't win, it's the people who don't have their hands up.
There you go.
Let's go. Psychology.
And everybody gets into a fist fight in his class, and he's like, yes, I did it.
I have been screamed full on in my face by friends who just don't understand where I come from. And instead of allowing me to explain myself, it's always a derogatory comment about who or what, my politics are. And the worst comes from other homosexuals and people who think that the liberal is the best.
Yeah. So why we lie, sometimes it's the path of least resistance.
That makes sense.
Preach.
All right, we'll be back for one more segment. We're going to wrap this thing up here. It's Connections. We've got Dr. Ken Vehec in the house. We're sponsored by Stages of Life Medical Institute. Check them out. stagesoflifemedicalinstitute.com.
This is Connections. Broadcasting live every night at 10 Eastern, Connections is Relationship Radio.
Yeah, it's not that I don't want to, I do avoid a conflict or I don't want to avoid a conflict. It's just that sometimes the stabbing wounds from these people because of what, how can you, how dare you're a lesbian and you voted for Trump? What's wrong with you, Pence? None of this trickles down and affects me. What I voted for this guy was because he was against the grain of all these career politicians. I mean, Biden's been in there 44 some years and nothing has really changed. No. I mean, he's still 5 minutes away from saying the N-word on the House floor like he did back in the 70s. Dude.
Yeah.
See my face, please. It's so horrible, but that would be the best. I'm sorry. Is that bad that I said that I'm excited that he could potentially say that?
He could potentially turn, early Alzheimer's and start calling everybody in.
No. Camilla, fetch me a glass of water.
So bad.
First time that, and just the whole thing, though. I mean, when Trump said that was his number one pick was Kamala Harris, I was like, of course it is. Behind Susan Rice, I think, because either one of those
Either one of those.
great.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the fact, and I wouldn't want to be heels up Harris. I just wouldn't, okay? For those of you, and I had to explain that to one of my comrades at work, what that meant. It's like, well, she's on her knees, like she's the heels up in the air.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to be her, having to fulfill the fact that, oh, I'm a woman of color. Oh, I'm a woman.
My thing
Okay.
is that it's horrible.
That was so racist.
But look what's going to do.
Misogynistic.
Right? Say they lose.
Okay.
Okay? Let's go with that. She's going to be the first selected black female vice president that lost.
It's historic.
So it's gonna further that stigmata.
Yesterday, I was listening to somebody. It is my
Your alarm says your next alarm says
time to go to bed.
Go to bed.
Shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh well, I lost it totally. I was talking to somebody yesterday about Kamala Harris and all of the wonderful things that will not happen. And I thought, wow, out of all this, she's a top cop. I mean, she put a lot of brothers and sisters of the African American race into jail for a long time for marijuana, then joked about smoking marijuana.
Yeah. Yeah, admitted she did.
Admitted it. But the standards are so...
And she inhaled.
She made that. Oh, it was just a joke.
Inhaled.
Yeah. But she's like one of the top cops over there in California and just would not let people out, was just incarcerated all these. But then she wants to let immigrants come in illegally and give them licenses and let them... And it's like...
And let them vote.
Yeah. So in my book, all I see is flippity-floppity, flippity-floppity, flippity, whichever way the wind is blowing.
Yeah.
For the biggest, baddest party in the world. So get on up, turn it up a notch, and get ready to boogie, baby.
Never heard anything like it before.
Mind if I give a listen?
Sure.
We're back. A new week has begun.
Lizzie's going all skater 80s on us with her hair today. If you're watching us on Facebook or on Periscope or YouTube, thanks for hanging out with The Connection Show. Melissa Fox along with Lizzie said, what are you doing to your hair?
I'm just playing. You shouldn't
All
have the
skate.
camera where I can see
It's
it.
an all skate.
That's
Yes,
it.
and we have Dr. Ken Vehec with us. He is our resident psychologist. He's explaining to us why people lie when, in particular, they're asked about their political slants.
Yeah.
And we've come up with the fact that most of the time we don't want a confrontation.
Yeah.
But there has to be... Linda Ball is watching us on our Facebook feed. She says that she tries to keep it personal. It's not no one's business.
Yeah.
But in her family, her politics are different, and that's a lot. There's a lot of that going on where, like, everybody's just expected to vote blue or just expected to vote. I was raised that the Kennedy sucked. Okay, I'm Protestant. I am, I'm Scottish. I'm of descent, and I was raised Republican, which is exactly the antithesis of the Kennedys. But I still took the time, just like with religion, I took the time to go out there and get a grasp and do my research and find out what appealed to me and what didn't. And frankly, I'm a centrist. I'm just a little left of center, believe that or not. But if you ask anybody that listens to me on the radio, oh my God, she's in love with the orange man, bad man. No, it's not really true. That's not true at all. I'm not failing under this presidency.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for my handouts under this presidency.
You're not accepting that $400 a week check.
COVID aside, okay. When things were the COVID is what do we call it? Infection election.
Yeah.
Yes.
Infection election.
I mean it was meant to drive the economy into the dirt because that's one of the many things that our current president has going for him.
Yeah.
But Lizzie's got African American friends who are conservative. We have friends who are liberals. How do we see eye to eye? How is that, Ken? How can we avoid the elephant in the room?
Well, maybe out of care and concern for the other person. If you know that it's going to be a hot button, topic, you avoid that just to save the friendship. because there are certain things that you don't talk about, even with your friends.
That's true.
And,
That's
and
what
so you
Linda
just
Ball
put this
said.
one on the list. It's just okay. We can agree to disagree, and we'll just leave it at that. We know that no matter what kind of conversation you and I have, if you're on the opposite side, there's no way I'm changing your mind.
No, not at all.
And there's no way you're changing mine.
But I'm one of those people that listens.
Yeah.
All right. I do listen to your side if you make sense and are not just defending, with platitudes. Like
I
said
have
earlier.
tried a number of times to have a conversation with somebody on the opposite side, or just a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And within 2 to 3 minutes, it gets loud because they run out of the depth of knowledge to be able to come up with a good counterpoint and keep the discussion going at an academic level. And I would love to sit down and have a discussion with somebody to find out why you think this way, because I'm a psychologist. I like to see how your mind works.
Oh, yeah.
And for them, it's a lot easier to just deflect, defer, move things here to there, and then also to repeat the lies that they've been told.
Jeez. You see, I can't deal with that whole lie thing or that whole defense mechanism where all it is attack. There's never a definition for why.
Okay.
Why?
Well, look at it this way. The average person will tell 3 lies in 5 minutes to somebody they don't know or just met.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, count
Okay?
'em.
So think about what you'll do to protect your relationship with your family or your friends. How many lies will you tell? How many will you not even talk about in that same 5-minute period?
Wow, that's deep. There's a lot going on there.
Mm-hmm.
How many 3 lies in 5 minutes?
Three lies within 5 minutes of meeting someone.
I wish I was that creative. That would be freaking awesome.
I have an email here from Mary. She says, I'm 54. I'm a registered nurse, a mom, a grandmother now. I was born in a Democratic family and like most went with the same route as my parents. Besides, I hated politics and I didn't keep up with any of it. So I just did what most conditioned folks do. My eyes started to open somewhat when Trump was running for president. I was terrified. I was a big Hillary Clinton supporter and bought into her smile, her pantsuits, and the way she held her head up high despite the humiliation of her husband's actions, who I also voted for. But when the attack on Benghazi occurred, my eyes opened a little more. I had to understand why my first lady was under attack. I was in shock. No way my Hillary could be such a liar. However, despite my fear of Trump power, I couldn't understand why the cruelty on social media, why the mainstream media continued to put him down, taking personal jabs at him constantly, the meanness, no caliber of evidence. Well, that made me suspicious. What are they trying to hide? Why the personal attack? So I started to actually listen to Trump, and what he said made sense.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's part of it. It just has to make sense to you. But that... Mary's comments about how she was conditioned, how she didn't care.
Yeah.
But she still voted, but she just did what she was told to do.
Look, the whole time I was growing up, my dad was one of the election commissioners. He would sit at the poll and judge, make sure everybody was treated fairly and did all that stuff, and he counted the numbers at the end. So the whole time I was growing up, and I was a paper boy in the area as well, so I was pretty well known. I would go up for the Democratic picnic in the summertime and peel corn. The night before, get everything set up, and it was just like you said, and I was conditioned that way. It really was, because I didn't know anything about politics. What kid really does, I just know that I got to, eat as much corn as I wanted.
Yeah.
Corn. Hell yeah.
So
I had another one here from Christy. She said, I've been poking around for a while. I really didn't know where I belonged politically. My family was all over the place when it came to politics. We just struggled to survive in this crazy world. The first guy I voted for was George Bush. I felt so grown up voting for the first time. But then I got discouraged because Clinton was elected and ran away from politics for a while. Typically, politicians seem to be doing the same thing. And then came the Obama years. Boy, they sucked. This is when I started getting involved in my local government and city council. I was always complaining about how bad things were, but now I found out I actually had to walk the walk, if you know what I mean. When Trump decided to run, I got excited again for politics. Here was a man that wasn't a politician. He was loud, sometimes obnoxious, but he loves this country. And that is why I am keeping America great. Well, and see, that's what I keep trying to tell people. I just wanted something different. I wanted someone to come in there who knew how to use the laws that are in place. I mean,
I wanted somebody who wasn't going to be bought off.
And that too.
Yeah.
That was my thing, and that's a lot of my decision factor on Trump then was this man can't be bought off.
Yeah.
I mean, legit, he can't be bought off.
And how much have you heard about him donating his salary?
Yeah.
He donates his salary every quarter. You know, but do you think the media would pick that up and say this is who he donated to this time? It make a running story on it.
They were doing it at the beginning, like his every quarter that he would get, but then it just tapered off. It was like almost too good to be true.
He can't do anything good.
You'll know because they're like, we pretty much feel like he's donating it back to his own people or his own group, and it's like, no, it was just the charities.
Yeah.
Anyway, no matter what, there's always going to be someone who's going to poke a hole in what you think. And you either stay strong behind your beliefs, you do some research, find out maybe you're off base. You know, that's what I do. If someone, and I'll listen, you take the time to tell me, hey, your thinking's a little skewed here, but here's why, and lay some real groundwork for me. I'm going to listen to you.
Lay some facts.
Dr. Ken Vehec, always a pleasure when you're with us. I hope you guys learned something tonight.
Hey, one other thing. This presidential thing, it's a temporary position.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's only for 4 years at a time.
Yep, or 8 if you're good.
Yeah, like I said, 8, but each time, 4 years. That's all they get.
That's all.
You have to be in Congress to be in there for 47, 48 years.
Right, and have nobody pay attention. Lizzie, we love you. Thank you. I'm Melissa Fox. Love
See
you,
everybody. Bye, Sammy. Bye, Rebecca.
Bye, guys.
Laughing time is over.
There you have it, boys. Case closed.
You've been listening to Connections. Find tonight's show and replays of our past shows on ConnectionsShow.com.